Hello everyone, my name is Brian Guzman, and today I'm going to be talking about my research topic, in which that was the novel coronavirus, COVID-19, as everybody knows it. um, Ultimately, I decided to research this because not only is it plaguing our nation, the entire world, it's also causing a lot of division within our country. I think it's bad enough that we have to deal with this virus and the fact that it's affecting millions of people around the world. In the United States, it's bad enough we have to deal with the virus, but coming with the virus also came a lot of division, and it's mostly centered around, as everyone knows it, wearing a mask versus no mask, social distancing versus no social distancing. Something that is significant to know is that the more that we reduce contact with each other, the more that we practice the social distancing, practicing just staying home. Of course, everybody has to go out. The main point is that if you have to go out, you should make the necessary precautions to stay safe. The issue is that many people who don't want to wear a mask, they kind of feel like it's an infringement on their rights. They don't want to practice social distancing. There's many people who say people need to stay home, stay home. But at the same time, it's like a lot of people that preach staying home are the same ones who tend to go out. I have a lot of experience with this because I work at H-E-B, which is a huge grocery store in the state of Texas, and I work there 5 days a week, and I'm around thousands of people every day, and it's a little scary because in the past week we've had over 10 of our employees test positive, and it seems that those numbers are just increasing, and it's kind of scary because there's even more employees that have had to get tested and are waiting on results. So things have been a little hectic, but I've spoken to a lot of people, a lot of customers who come in, and I'll just have conversations with them, and some of them say even in the middle of a pandemic that we're in, people say, well, like, I was just bored at home, so I just wanted to come shop at H-E-B. It's kind of like things like that, because I know I've met some of those people who preach staying home, but at the same time, it's like, if you unnecessarily have to go to a grocery store or other stores, if you don't have to go, but you're still going, it puts you at risk, it puts others at risk. Now, I know, obviously, the solution is you can't stay home 24/7, because if you have to go out, you have to go out, but the issue is if you have to go out, make sure it's absolutely necessary. That's something that I've learned working inside of a grocery store. In the city of San Antonio, in the state of Texas, at one point they did mandate wearing a mask. So all masks, you have to wear a mask to enter a place of service. If you want service, you have to wear a mask. And at the store I work at, there's been instances where some workers are trying to enforce the mask wearing, and it's turned violent because there's people who are very resistant to it. They feel like they shouldn't have to, and there's been instances of not just our store, but I believe that there's a Target in the United States, Walmart's, that are having employees assaulted because just simply asking customers, hey, can you wear a mask? Can you put your mask on? Everyday little things, just kind of doing their job. So it is an issue. The division that's come with it is mask work. If masks work so well, then why can't businesses just reopen and things return to normal? Like, everything can go back to normal as long as you're wearing a mask. But if masks don't work, then why are we practicing social distancing? why are we even doing anything? Because if they don't work, what's the point of wearing a mask? And it's a really complex issue because people have their opinions both ways. I think at the end, after talking to a lot of people that I work with, family, I've had some very immediate family deal with the coronavirus, and it's had some really bad effects. And I would say the most popular solution with the people that I've talked to, that I've interviewed, is just simply wear a mask because it could help the spread. If you absolutely have to go out, wear a mask. Stay 6 feet away. Stay away from people. It's not just that you're doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for others. The goal at the end of the day is to get whatever done you need to get done and staying safe. If you have to go home to your family, just make smart choices. Be very precautious in the choices that you make. This argument should matter to literally everybody, because if one person gets it and they act very reckless, they don't take precautions, they don't quarantine, then they have a great chance of spreading it to everybody that they're around. This project has a lot of life after this class, because I don't know where this virus is going to be 3 months from now, a year from now. Whether it's contained, hopefully this is something that we don't have to deal with as much. Hopefully things can return back to a little bit of sense of normalcy. But whether it's here or it's not here, up until we get to the point of being in the clear, I think people need to take the right steps of being precautious and staying safe, because at the end of the day, this has the ability to affect every single person. And if we can prevent one person from getting it, then it's a success, because you go out, you wear a mask, you practice social distancing, you're reducing not only your chances of getting it or spreading it, but you're helping someone else by reducing it. I believe the statistic is in the 90%. It's somewhere in the 90%, where if I wear a mask and you wear a mask, the odds of spreading it is like, the odds of us not spreading it is like 97%, around there. So yeah, the solution is simple. If you're gonna go out, wear a mask, be precautious, don't make reckless choices. Be precautious in all the choices that you make, because at the end of the day, you want to take care of yourself, you want to take care of your family. And I think for the solution in the division that we have is just to make smart choices. I understand people are upset that you have to wear a mask. It's uncomfortable, it's hot, but at the end of the day, I think we need to look at the bigger picture here. And someone that works in a grocery store and is around so many people a day, we have to wear the mask for over 8 hours a day. Doctors, nurses have to wear the mask. So I think honestly, if people like us have to wear a mask so much, as hot as it can get, as uncomfortable as it can get, I think the issue of wearing a mask for 20 minutes when you go shopping or here and there isn't that big of an issue compared to how other people seem to have it. And yeah, so in conclusion, just stay safe, everyone. Take necessary precautions. At the end of the day, the goal is to stay safe, go home to our families. Yeah, that's it. That's the coronavirus. My thoughts on this kind of expanded, because at first my thoughts were, well, if people didn't want to wear a mask, they shouldn't have to. But upon the weeks going forward and learning more about this virus, as I worked with people who tested positive, and I've seen people firsthand kind of getting sick. My thoughts changed on this, because wearing a mask can reduce it so much. So my thoughts did change on this, because if you can reduce it, you want to